South Carolina transaction agreements, offers to purchase. Licensees must prepare all offers in writing, present to seller promptly, must deliver copies of acceptance to all parties upon receipt, must ensure all terms, conditions included in the offer, ensure all modifications are written, initialed, and dated, must submit real estate offer rejection form for offers rejected without a counter offer within 48 hours, may communicate offers via hard copy or e-copy. E-signatures are valid. Purchase and sales contracts. South Carolina contract calls, variations, specificities. Parties. Checkbox for whether any principal is a licensee. Parties, initial bottom of each page to acknowledge that page has been read. Specific conditions to follow for completing repairs. Appraised value clause makes contract contingent on lender's appraisal. Trust account interest. Trust account interest must indicate whether it belongs to the buyer or the broker, if applicable. Mediation. Parties agree to resolve disputes via mediation. Transaction information. Escrow identification. Brokerage identifications. Type of agency provided. Designated agency disclosure if applicable. Residential disclosure statement. Property disclosure statement. Residential property disclosure statement. It applies only to residential property with 1 to 4 dwelling units that is sold, leased with option to buy, sold as installment land sale. Exemptions: court-involved sale, foreclosure sale, bankruptcy trustee, transfer by eminent domain, mortgagee who acquired property in foreclosure, conveyance to a co-owner, spouse, or blood relative, divorce-related conveyance, tax sale, to or from federal, state government, and associated agencies, first-time conveyance of new home. Those are exempted from a property disclosure. Also, public auctions, conveyance to a residential trust, vacation timeshare, whenever parties mutually agree not to complete. The contents of the property disclosure: water sewage systems, structural components, plumbing, HVAC, mechanical systems, presence of infestations, easements, codes, covenants affecting property, environmental hazards, lease agreements, encumbrances, energy services to property, any designations as historic building or landmark, where the property is subject to HOA governance. Seller may claim knowledge or actual knowledge or make no representation regarding a condition. Once again, the seller may claim actual knowledge or make no representation regarding a condition. A listing agent must inform seller in writing of obligation to provide a property condition disclosure. Notice relieves agent of liability for seller's failure to provide statement. It must deliver property condition disclosures to buyer before a sales contract is entered. Failure to provide disclosure does not nullify the agreement, cloud title, or delay closing. Falsifying a disclosure statement, the seller is liable for damages. Inaccuracies can be corrected or remediated prior to closing. Agents are not liable for seller's errors if unaware of falsity. Disclosure does not relieve buyer of obligation to inspect the property, and the seller is not obligated to disclose any conditions that stigmatize the property. South Carolina laws, regulations, and practices. Consumer Protection Code, CPC. Mortgage lending. Mortgage broker solicits or negotiates mortgage loans for a borrower from a lender for compensation. A mortgage broker must be licensed. Escrow account holds borrower's funds for eventual payment of property taxes, insurance. Loan commitment lenders temporary promises to fund a loan for a borrower at stated terms. Underwriter or processor, unlicensed administrator performs support duties under the direction of the mortgage broker. Licensees must retain key mortgage loan documents for 3 years. Mortgage loan documents must be retained for 3 years, the key ones. Annual percentage rate, APR, the cost of a loan inclusive of all loan costs, expressed as an annual percent of the loan amount. Consumer home borrower is a natural person. The loan is for personal or household purposes. The loan is secured by borrower's principal residence. A consumer home loan borrower is a natural person. The loan is for personal or household purposes. The loan is secured by the borrower's principal residence. Conventional conforming discount points are points paid by the borrower to reduce their interest rate. So a conventional conforming discount point are points paid by the borrower to reduce their interest rate. Stated conventional mortgage rate by more than 1 percentage point. So this is when they want to reduce their stated conventional mortgage rate by more than 1 percentage point. That's a conforming loan. The conventional mortgage rate, the required interest rate for a comparable Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac loan that carries a 90-day mandatory delivery commitment. Don't know what that's saying. A loan repayment fee may be charged if authorized by a law other than CPC, the Consumer Protection Code, and the loan APR does not exceed the conventional mortgage rate by more than 2 points, and the fee does not exceed 2% of the prepayment amount. Okay, so this is saying that a loan prepayment fee may be charged if authorized by law other than the CPC. It may be charged under these 2 conditions: that the loan APR does not exceed the conventional mortgage rate by more than 2 points, and the fee does not exceed 2% of the prepayment amount. The borrower may prepay their home loan at any time without penalty if the loan is $150,000 or less. So you can avoid having to pay that prepay penalty if your loan is $150,000 or less. The maximum rate for credit debt is 8.75%. The maximum rate for credit debt is 8.75%. Rates on a consumer loan are subject to change based on an index. Closing attorney requirement. You must use an attorney to close your transaction or supervise your closing, and the borrower selects the closing attorney, not the lender. The Fair Credit Reporting Act. The purpose is to promote accuracy, fairness, and privacy of consumers' personal and financial information. It prohibits intentional or negligent insertion of inaccurate information in credit reports. The credit report contents has the status of your credit accounts, the credit worthiness of the individual, the debt delinquencies, the rental repayments, the public records, i.e. liens, judgments, bankruptcies. The Act allows consumers to receive one free copy of their credit report each year. The creditor underwriter requirements may get credit data only for permissible purposes, must notify the consumer if adverse action is taken based on credit report, must identify the company providing the report. Non-compliance is up to $1,000 in damage to the consumer.